What we're about to discuss today took me 23 years to grasp, to learn, and I'm still learning. But I can give this to you in about 20 minutes or less. So this video is going to strike a lot of people's nerves, a lot of people's insecurities, a lot of people's childhoods, including mine. But this will be a very strong improvement to learning about what we came from, what we endured, who we are today, standing tall, who we are, and where we're headed, and what we can do to heal, to change, to grow, to inspire others in our walk of life. So, this video will be about the psychology behind attachment styles. I never knew what that meant. Now, when I was in grade school, I'm talking about like third grade, I had the best counselor in the world. I'll never forget his name, Mr. Mike. Shout out to Mr. Mike. If you're watching this, salute to you, my brother. You were doing God's work with toddlers, okay? But Mr. Mike was our school counselor. And we were at an all-boys school. And so he had to cater to all boys. I don't think he had any sons of his own. So he was almost letting us be his sons. Does that make sense? So Mr. Mike always used to call me to his office. I used to talk to him a lot. But he used to always call me to his office and he used to be like, check up, how you feeling today? And he used to ask me about my friends, like what's my perspective? Because he really liked to listen to my perspective on, bullying. Because I was the type of kid, I'm the athlete, right? I'm the star, popular, whatever the hell that means, right? But, I'm the point guard if you're playing basketball at recess. I'm the quarterback if you're playing football. I'm the pitcher if you're playing baseball or kickball at recess, right? And he used to see how a lot of my peers used to respond to my leadership, my personality. And I had a couple of friends who couldn't help themselves but to bully others. Couldn't help but to put other kids down to make themselves stand on a pedestal, right? And I used to stop the game. Hey, ball in my hand, football in my hand. Hey, stop. Apologize to him. And now all the teachers, counselors, everybody is looking at this mid-time, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is watching Jaden do this at recess multiple times. I didn't do it only once or twice. This was a every other day occurrence type, right? And so Mr. Mike always called me to his office and be like, okay, check up, how you feeling? And he used to tell me, like, you're too attached. Mind you, what age are you in third grade? 9? 8, 9? And I never forgot that. Mr. Mike used to walk with me around campus. He used to take me so many different places. We used to just talk, almost like it felt as if it's an adult to adult conversation, even though he was the one that was helping me tremendously, right? And growing up, going through middle school and then high school, of course, I never really thought about how attached or detached emotionally I am. And when I graduated high school, I really really like my senior year when I graduated, I started to really dive deep into psychology. I was always a philosophical, thought leader, thought-provoking individual, still am, right? But psychology, yet it still has to do with the mind. I wasn't tapping into it as much as I was philosophy. The Carl Jungs, the Socrates, the Galileos, I wasn't tapped in psychologically as much as I was philosophically. There you go. Right? And I would research a lot of Black thought leaders, during the Black Panther era and way before, you know? And what really struck me the most is when you take said person, said idol, and you look at their parents, or you watch an interview about them and you see how they talk about their mom versus how they talk about their dad, or how they talk about their grandma versus how they talk about their mama, you really get to see, male or female, man or woman, you really get to see what their attachment style is. Now, it wasn't until I graduated that I really realized, JB, what you're doing. Now I'm putting the science behind what I was doing in high school, who I was in middle school. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm putting terms. I'm studying terms. I'm studying, terminology. I'm studying themes. I'm studying patterns, cycles. I'm studying this shit. So now I have the science behind what I've been doing subconsciously. And I've been reading a lot today on repressive and suppressive emotions, right? Your repressive emotions is you attempting to cope and dismantle and separate yourself from your emotions subconsciously. That's repressive. And suppressive is you consciously finding other alternatives to make yourself feel something other than, right? Because you don't want to feel and embrace this feeling of discomfort. So you clog your consciousness with other activities, work, school, more jobs. You pick up another job, you pick up another shift, you do a graveyard shift, different hobbies or any extracurricular things, smoking, drinking, partying, online dating, binge watching, you know what I'm saying? Like gambling, lustful shit, beefing a jerk, you know what I'm saying? We pick up there's so many accessible traits that you can pick up being a repressive thinker in psychology. So I started to put the science behind what I was doing subconsciously. Mom, if you're watching this, I love you. Dad, if you're watching this, I love you. Okay? So my mom, my mother, my beautiful mother, is a Gemini. She is such a... My mother is such a strenuous, detailed, intrinsic worker. Like, she is so steadfast. Like, my mother, she is so... Oh, goodness, man. She's... In this field, she is so... She's a force, man. My mama is a strong force to be reckoned with when it comes to being around people, talking to people, making people feel included, making people feel involved, making people elevate their enthusiasm about life, not just a job, not just making money, not just about a side hustle if she has partners that she's working with, about life. That's my mama in the working aspect. In the family too, But I've seen my mama in so many different chapters and phases and stages of life that's my mama, right? But aside from work, I've seen my mom work so hard, so damn hard, so hard to suppress her emotions and her deep thoughts I've seen her work hard to repress them instead of exercise them. You know? A lot of times she would come home from work, and my Mima, which is her mom, I'd be by her, and then my mom would come get me. But she'd always be on the phone, right? She'd be talking to somebody or talking to my Mima about people at the job. And I would hear her enthusiasm and her offsetted emotions all on the phone. I hear it. And a couple of times I asked, like, Ma, why you keep talking about the people at your job? Like, you at home now. And she'd be like, well, they was doing this. Like, how the hell you at the job? And you know what I'm saying? And that has been an ongoing thing that I've seen and heard from my mother when it comes to work and her emotions and how she regulates them for decades. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's so much different. It is so much different. I mean, night and day type different. My mother is so much at peace, and she's so much more serene. That's the word I can give it. My mother is so much more serene now. And that's because, she's had a lot of awakenings and she's been through some things that's kind of shifted her perspective and changed her dimension of life, which is great, right? You're not going to stay the same forever. Situation's not going to be the same forever. So, that's my mom. That's my mother. Now, my dad's a Capricorn. My dad is also very business driven, very work driven, very much so. My dad is an extremist. He is. A lot of Capricorns are extremists, right? My dad is an extremist. He is very wise. My dad is very wise. He is very patient. My dad's very patient. And I would say my dad is also very stoic. But the word stoicism in this age has changed tremendously. So it's not the same definition that it once was. What I mean by my dad being so stoic is my dad will never let anybody know what is going on within him because he doesn't want anybody to judge him. He doesn't want anybody to think less of him in the slightest. And how do I know that? Because it's my dad. That's my father. And I love my mom tremendously. I love my dad tremendously. My dad is a avoidant. My dad is a fearful avoidant. My dad is a dismissive avoidant attachment style in psychology. My mother was, because it can change, and it should change, my mother was a fearful, anxious attachment style in psychology, right? Now, my dad is still wise. He's gotten more comfortable, I'd say, in his skin, in his stride, in his walk, in his business, in his career. He's gotten more comfortable in that. Yet he's still uncomfortable. Yet he still yearns and seeks for more opportunities to, right? but he's still a dismissive avoidant. So he's quick to repress and suppress and find another avenue to exert energy so he doesn't really have to think about it. And my dad's a very, very big thinker. My dad always told me, like, son, I want you to be able to think. I want you to be able to think. When it comes to basketball, think the game. When it comes to life, think about life. Don't let it consume you, but think. I want you to be a thinker, be an avid thinker, because, and nowadays, shit, that's like common sense. Just change the word to sense, because it ain't that common no more, you know? But you'll be surprised at how many people don't think, and they allow other people to make decisions for them. And that's what my dad has always, you know, instilled into me, which I love and I still use to this day, right? So that's my dad, that's my mom. My mom, she was a fearful, anxious, and now I say she's more secure. So there is a secure attachment style in psychology, and she's more so of that because she's more at peace, she's more serene, she's more in that state of tranquility with her sons, with her business, with her life, with her body, with her skin, with her with her everything, you know? And this is what I've been studying. This is what I've been getting down to the root of. Why is it that even when I was in high school and I was messing with too many chicks, right? Having a roster, having a whole baseball team full of chicks that I'm messing with and just attempting to entertain. And I'm just taking this as an example. I have a whole roster full of chicks. I didn't even like having a roster full of chicks because I knew that that's not me. I'm powerful. Okay. My influence and my impact to one person in a relationship, to one person, is more than enough. Especially like a woman, right? That's what no dudes. But with a woman, like, JB, hello. So I realized that I was spreading myself way too thin and getting nothing done. I was spreading myself so thin and I wasn't getting shit accomplished. Now, getting away from that perspective because I was hypnotizing myself to thinking that I can do this, I can have a roster, I can have multiple girlfriends, I can have, you know, multiple wives, and I can have all this shit. No, not me. Not me. With my impact, my energy, my influence, my wisdom, my leadership, my masculinity, no. Nope. Not me. Maybe you, cool. However you regulate it is how you regulate it. Kudos to you. But with this gentleman right here you looking at, hell no. So, I began to be a avoidant. I wanted to avoid any feelings and emotions that made me feel uncomfortable. Any emotions that made me feel distressed, I wanted to, what? And I'm an Aquarius too. So Aquarius is also, on top of that, have a very strong sense of uniqueness that is unconventional. So with that unconventionality, we have a wide range of emotions that we grasp, that we feel, but we don't exert them. We don't let people know. We don't really talk about them until we have an outlet or a place where we can and not be judged for it. Because we're water bearers. And so we can carry a lot of people's emotions. We can carry a lot of people's thoughts and feelings, and we can do that. And we can regurgitate it back to them. We can serve it back to them plus more. So it's like you being dehydrated, I can give you more water that's going to replenish you and, quench your thirst. But that's only for the day. That's only for the week. When you could plant seeds in other people that blossom something beautiful, oh man, well, you got something that's for an eternity. You got something that's infinite that you instill in people. So I began to understand and study about myself that I am an avoidant, and really a dismissive avoidant. And also slight glimpse of fearful avoidant. So I'd have multiple things that occupy my mind so that I don't really embrace where I'm at, what's really going on deep within, and how I can overcome that. So I would be prolonging my process to heal, as we all do. And as of 2025, today, as of 2025, I am now so very secure in my life, with my emotions, with my mental health, if you will, my thought process. I am so secure. But that took me 23 years to get to. 24. That took me 23 years to get to. 2 decades and some change. It was a build-up process. So imagine you going on a roller coaster, right? You're going on a roller coaster and you're just peaking. It's just a subtle drop. That drop is your spiritual awakening, your psychological awakening. Not everything that was told to you is true, even if it was by some of the dearest and closest people to you. Just because they said it, don't mean you got to believe it. Just because they said it, don't mean it's true. And you learn that the expectations that you build up in your mind for other people, they hurt you more than them. My mama always tell me, when somebody tell you who they truly are, believe them. You better believe them. You better believe them, right? And I'm so proud to say that I am a secure attachment style, because I'm secure in my emotions. I know how to regulate them. I'm not afraid. I'm not bashful. I'm not shameful in saying what I'm really seeing, what I'm really feeling. And as a young Black man especially, right, I have truly understood how much vulnerability is a superpower. Honesty is power, truth is power, love is power, and so is vulnerability. Because, man, you are reaching the hearts and souls of so many different people whenever you begin to be vulnerable. But guess what? Not many people can put themselves on that stage to be looked at from head to toe. If you got bumps on your face, you didn't get a haircut, you got braids, old braids, they can see your whole fit, from your shoes to the shit on the bottom of your shoe. They can see everything. Not many people are willing to get on that stage, but you got to be the one. You are the one. You can be the one. But you've been running. You think you've been running far because the theme, the background around you changes. You think you've been running far. You sweating. You may change clothes, change masks. But guess what? Whole time you've been running in the same place. It's all a green screen. Like the Truman Show. It's all a green screen. Then you realize, wait a minute. And then you step out that shit and you be like, yeah, not everything is as it seems. Let those who has ears hear clearly, and let those who have eyes see clearly. Straight up. So that was what I have learned in my 23 years of experiencing life. 23 years of experiencing that familial love, that familial embrace, but also that pain, that trauma, that discomfort, that anguish, that guilt, resentment too. We all go through it. But you got to embrace it in order to heal and become the man or woman that you know you can be. So I hope this video helps anybody out there. If you like this video, you know what to do. Get you some merch, 𝗬𝗵𝗫.shop, link in the description. Join the Patreon for more in-depth, philosophical, psychological, deep occult, esoteric knowledge. Thank y'all so much for the love and support. This is Jaden Banks, and I will see you on the next video.